All right, let's see what Steven Crowder's up to. He's that's all for the Kyle Rittenhouse convo for now. Stop being brain dead. He was trying to save people's lives on AR-15 that squirts HP potions. Yeah. Steven Crowder is back at it again, asking the toughest questions. Why are you still wearing a mask? Like, as though his deliberate and concerned effort has not created an unsafe environment where people are just unvaccinated and still spreading COVID and all this other stuff. I think there's like still 100 people dying every day in Florida. It's nuts. Like, we often forget, like, when the media is not covering COVID, doesn't mean that the COVID has gone away. Like, it means that it's like diminished to a certain degree, but not gone. You know, people are still fucking dying of COVID. So let's see.
Well, I went down to a hipster area to interview people about vaccines and masks. And there is a little bit of a cultural divide, and I will let this speak for itself, but just know that you are not alone. And then after this, we don't have time to take chat, do we?
No.
We'll just run this, and we'll do. Tomorrow is Chat Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll see you then. Enjoy this package. This is expensive stuff here.
Huge package.
Go.
Let me repeat. If you are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask.
The CDC's ground-shifting change.
We want to make sure that you understand these vaccines are effective, and they're particularly effective against the variants as well.
Hallelujah.
The CDC announcing fully vaccinated people don't need to wear masks or socially distance outdoors or indoors.
I wonder what changed. You guys remember that, like, brief window? It was when I went to Texas. It was so good. It was so good. We thought we were like post-pandemic. Like, we thought we were going to defeat COVID before Daddy Delta came with the fucking long dick. My Lord. It was wonderful. It was like a wonderful little moment, like a brief pocket of air, where I just thought, you know, it's fucking awesome.
Hey, remember when the media told you that you wouldn't have to wear a mask or stay inside once you got the vaccine? Yet
I don't understand. Like, first of all, why are they making it seem like you have to stay inside? Like, no one wants to stay inside. No one is staying inside, especially in Texas. The only thing is, like, you have to fucking act like you care about COVID for like 3 seconds, okay? When you put a mask on, when you're walking in. What are you? You're just a giant baby, okay?
for some reason, I can't stop running into people who are doing both. They're twofers. So I wanted to ask them why.
Are you two vaccinated? Yeah, but still wearing masks. Are we? Can we ask you about it? We're just doing a general survey on people, whether they're vaccinated, they're not, their opinions on masks.
I'm actually vaccinated and recently immune.
Oh, because you got COVID? So why do you say vaccinated but recently immune?
I'm still in my post-infectious immunity.
Yeah, well, okay, because I just had two family members who had it too, and that's how I found out that I had already had it, you know, it was because the antibody tests don't work so well. But I was sleeping with my wife who had it, obviously, she's my wife.
Our whole household got it.
Okay, but you said vaccinated, but you said now immune, so you're saying the
post-infectious immunity.
Right, yeah. But you didn't use immune for vaccine. Is there a reason for that?
You're not completely immune from the vaccine the same way you're not completely immune after you've had the infection. I mean, it's just...
Right, you know, but it seems...
Dude, what the fuck? Dude, this stuff is awesome. It's like, we've just made like harassing random people walking on the street into fucking the best kind of content. She's also like low-key destroying him a little bit, but you know, we'll see.
It's like, yeah, you probably seem to think that having the virus gives you more immunity than the vaccine, the way you phrased it.
Oh, that's a known fact.
Yeah, okay, no, yeah, that's actually a question we're asking people, what they think about the vaccine versus natural immunity. Do you think the government should, do you think that people who have already had it should be exempt from, for example, like mandates, if they've already had COVID?
Yeah, because the immunity you have in the post-infectious phase does not stay with you forever, and it's not, I mean...
Bro, did he find a scientist? This person is literally spitting right now. What the fuck? This rarely happens. Like, oh my God, what is going on?
It's to the strain you have. I mean, that's just...
So you believe
That's
that the
like saying like you shouldn't get a flu vaccine every year.
well,
Because you can't
but you just said
influence
you have more immunity from the so
In the
you
immediate post-infectious period,
Okay.
I still have antibodies from my body actively fighting the
right,
virus. Yeah.
but you don't believe you had those from the vaccine.
You have antibodies, but it's different.
Not
when
as
it's-
strong.
Yeah, it's different when it's
Oh my God. Does he not understand that, like, when you literally are recovering from getting the virus in the immediate stage, that you are the most protected? And obviously there's varying degrees of protection, but that level of immunity immediately goes away. And even then, the kind of antibodies that you have in your body is not consistent. And the only way to consistently develop the highest level of protection against COVID is by literally being vaccinated. I don't think he understands that what she's saying. What she's saying is not what he thinks she's saying. He thinks like, oh, if you get COVID, then you're protected fully, right? Better than the vaccine, right? It's like, no, she's not saying that. She's saying like, in the immediate recovery period, you are the most protected, okay? In just the immediate recovery period. She even mentions that that goes away. I'm fucking on.
your body has ramped up with antibodies.
Okay.
Versus
So-
your body has been trained to recognize the virus and deploy antibodies.
So-
Same thing with when you get monoclonal antibody treatment.
Right. That's very temporary.
It is.
But so I just want to make sure. So you're teaching me here. If you get the virus, right, your natural immunity, you believe, or you're saying, wears off faster than the vaccine immunity and doesn't recognize variants.
It's a different type of immunity.
Right. That doesn't recognize variants.
It depends on what the variants are.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing why they're reevaluating all the vaccines for like, are they providing ample immunity to the different variants?
What if the opposite were to be true scientifically? What if natural immunity actually?
Bro, I'm literally wearing a mask outdoors now. Like, I was anti-mask outdoors, but now this lady is so knowledgeable that like the most average outdoor mask wearer is like an epidemiologist in comparison to the average American who refuses to wear a mask. She's crazy. She's literally just like spitting facts, no printer, like all facts. If she wears a mask while she's driving in her car by herself, I'm wearing a mask while I'm driving in my car by myself. It's crazy.
Prevented.
Wait, what did he say? What if wait, hold on.
Or like, are they providing ample immunity to the
So Steven Crowder finally resorts to my favorite type of argument that conservatives engage in on a regular basis, specifically debate lords. Oh, you're telling me that things are a certain way? Well, what if they weren't? Okay, yeah. What if God struck down every single person that doesn't wear a mask in public? What then, idiot? Would you wear a mask then? Get fucked. It's like, that's not an argument. Like, you can't just literally change the dynamic of something that is occurring to something that's not, so your side looks correct. You can't do that. You have to be a real fucking idiot to be like, yeah, he's really owning her here. What if I'm right and you're wrong? What if the opposite of the truth is what's going on? Yeah, okay. I would win then, right? That's right. Just literally, that's what he's saying. What if I was right, though? Hypothetically.
What if the opposite were to be true scientifically? What if natural immunity actually prevented reinfection with variants more than the vaccine? Would you think that the government should take that into account? So, well, let's say, what if it was? Let's say it is true.
She's like, but that's not true. But what if it was? Would I win the argument then? What if it was? And I'm sure he's going to pull that one fucking study from Israel. Get ready. Because, like, there's one study that was inconclusive, okay, that said maybe natural immunity from vaccines, and it was a self-reported study. Remember, Sean showed it in the fucking Jimmy Dore takedown video that he did as well. There's one study from Israel that said potentially that natural immunity might be better and long-term or might offer better protection towards reinfection or getting COVID than the vaccines. And there are plenty of studies that actually disprove that. So I don't know if he's like ready to fucking fire that. I don't know if that's in his like holster, okay? Let's see if he brings that up.
True, because it is. Do you think that then the government should take that into account?
Oh, here it is. Having SARS-CoV-2 once confers much greater immunity. Vaccination remains vital. You want to know what the beautiful part about that study is? Well, one, it's wrong because it's inconsistent, and she has the correct take where the highest level of immunity and protection that you get is like in the immediate part. Okay. Two, it's not a guarantee that you are going to keep those antibodies once you get infected. That's why Jair Bolsonaro, for example, has gotten COVID 700 times. Okay. Literally, the most COVID-getting man in America and in Brazil. Okay. Jair Bolsonaro. Just point to that. I know it's fucking a single person, but the data also goes along with what I'm saying. But if you want to use an anecdote to defeat someone in the marketplace of ideas, be like, why did Jair Bolsonaro get COVID 700 times? If the natural protection is so much better than the fucking vaccine, why did he get COVID 700 fucking times, dude? Anyway.
When doing the mandates, if someone has had it and can, show that through a test.
If they can consistently prove that someone has full immunity,
yeah,
then it would be a different conversation. But that's just not how.
How many people have had COVID twice versus people who've had it after being vaccinated?
I don't know the answer to that question.
What? You can't use that as an argument. What? How many people have gotten COVID twice versus people that... It's an entirely separate pool. What the fuck kind of psychotic thing is that? How many of the people that had COVID twice were already vaccinated? How many of those people fucking died? How many people that got COVID and died are not a part of that fucking argument? Did he just say, oh, you like the vaccines? Name everyone that's been vaccinated. Like he's doing the, you're not a real vaccine hipster. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? You think vaccines provide immunity? Name every immune person, bitch. Let's hear it. Billions. You can't know.
Almost none. But obviously we know there's a big problem with the vaccines, people still getting it.
Almost none. Yeah. You want to know why? Because 700,000 of them died in America. You fucking animal. You brain dead loser. What the fuck is this argument, dude? I am going to lose my mind. It's an insane thing to say. 700,000 people that have not gotten the vaccine, whether because it wasn't available at that point or refused to get it, have fucking died of COVID. And this guy literally is just like, how many people that got COVID got it again? When you don't think about the 700,000 that fucking died. Oh. Irrelevant to my conversation. Irrelevant to my point of view. She should literally just be like, oh yeah, really? Almost 800,000 people have died, and the overwhelming majority, it's like 99.999% of those people did not have the COVID vaccine, whether because it wasn't available or because they refused to get it now. How many people in comparison to that have been vaccinated and fucking died? Oh wait, I already told you. It's literally fucking like 0.01%. Why are we having this conversation? This is such a stupid conversation to have. I feel like everyone is so dumb. Why are people so fucking dumb? Only 30K out of that 700K died from COVID? Yeah, no. The rest of them died because they were conservative and too stupid, like Nathaniel Poggers here, and they simply forgot how to breathe. They just literally like, I don't know how to breathe anymore. Dead. I guess that's what happened, Nathaniel Poggers. Don't forget, you're manually breathing right now. Please don't stop manually breathing. You will die.
So this is kind of a totality. We're just saying, well, what sort of, when we balance people's freedoms versus the vaccine, do you think it should be a mandate across the board?
I'm done with this.
Okay. I would encourage you following the science, though. Natural immunity is strong.
I would encourage you follow the science.
Stronger.
Wow, he looked like such a badass, dude. I'm surprised he didn't talk about how aggressively Asian her face was. You know? If you follow the science, ma'am.
Yeah, it's stronger against all variants. The vaccine isn't. Just read up on the science. Go to CDC. Literally everything she said was the opposite of the truth.
Why did he keep this? Why did he keep this in the fucking video, dude? This literally is him getting thoroughly just anally fisted, okay, by this tiny woman walking down the street with her mom, trying to fucking, I don't know, get groceries or whatever. He's thoroughly just proper fucking drilled, okay? And Boo Boo Bennett style drilled. And he's like, and then he licks his wounds by himself after the argument is over. He's like, I defeated him. I defeated her in the marketplace of ideas. Let's go find some people that are dumber. Oh, that was awesome, dude. I'm so glad. Okay, I take it back. Now I'm happy that he didn't fucking die in the hospital, so I could just see him get fucking cumstered in the middle of the goddamn street. Why did he keep this in? What a silly thing to keep in. Love that. I mean, he keeps those. He keeps those in for us, for our pleasure.
But she started with, well, I had the vaccine, but now I've just recently become immune.
Yeah, fucking remember when she said that and I misunderstood what she was saying? Remember when, like, she was 100% correct, but I misunderstood what she was saying, so, like, I kind of won the argument. And the point is, his audience is that fucking stupid, right? And because of that, his audience is like, yeah, Steven Crowder did win that one. That was fucking sick. This is not a man who feels like he won that, okay? He did not win that battle rhetorically. He did not win that. Like, his face betrays what he is saying. Oh, I fucking wrecked her, right? That was crazy, right? This is why I need to be extra racist to Asian women when I see them. I'm going to be extra racist next time I see an Asian lady on television when I'm in my studio. Okay, let's keep going.
She didn't say immune with the vaccine. Why?
What are you doing? What is this? Why do they keep this in? He just looks like a bitter bitch now. It's so refreshing to see folks have nice discussions, no name calling, no yelling. We started homeschooling our kids this year, not just because of the mask. Oh my God. What is this segment? Is this the Republican content? He's literally just going up to random people like, I know you're not a virologist, but do you want to speak on behalf of them? I mean, in this case, he got rolled, but it's like going up to people and be like, do you want to give me your opinion on 5G? Yeah, no, literally, that is the content. Yeah. By the way, he's like, I love that. I love that he was like, read the CDC. The CDC. New CDC study. Vaccination offers higher protection than previous COVID-19 infection. By the way, even in that fucking Israeli study, the one thing that anti-vaxxers never show is that if you want the highest fucking level of protection, okay? If you want the highest level of protection, even in the fucking Israeli study that they use all the time, it's getting COVID but still getting vaccinated offers you the highest level of protection. CDC finds immunity from vaccines is more consistent than from infection, but both last at least 6 months. That's the main problem. The main problem is naturally acquired immunity might not offer consistent levels of protection. It is entirely dependent on how much COVID you got, for example. There are different variants at play there. Whereas the vaccine response is consistent. He wanted to make a fictional scenario like a fucking Wattpad COVID fanfic for the anti-vaxxers. Yeah. Also, here's another way that, you know, you get natural immunity to COVID. Like, you'll definitely not get it again. When you get COVID and fucking die, okay? When you get COVID and you didn't get vaccinated and you're sitting in the hospital bed by yourself and you need like 2 fucking nurses to roll you over every now and then so you don't get bed sores, and you have a fucking vent down your goddamn throat and you're dying alone and scared. That's how you fucking never get COVID again, because now you're dead. Because now you're dead. It's true. So, foolproof argument from Steven Crowder. Fucking owned.
Well, because the CDC doesn't say you're immune with the vaccine. They changed the definition of
Okay.
vaccine and immunity. But then she said, well, natural immunity actually, you know, wears off and it doesn't work against the variants. That's the exact opposite of what we're seeing.
That is not the exact opposite of what we're seeing. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Why? Why is it like this? Why are conservatives so bottom of the fucking barrel with this argument? What the fuck? It's like they're not even trying anymore. Remember, during COVID, in the beginning, in the fucking apex of COVID, he would do this like change my mind shit where he would talk about how like the COVID deaths are fake, right? And it was so easily disprovable. Like, it literally was just like, okay, why are there so many additional deaths? I don't know. It's just doctors are killing people. Like, it is the easiest way to own people that have said like, COVID actually, it was not killing people, and people, and the numbers were fake, right? People would just say like the numbers were fake. Steven Crowder did that over and over and over again. But the argument was literally, okay, well, if you look at the CDC numbers of deaths that are occurring and you compare them to deaths of 5 previous fucking years, you recognize that there is a significant more amount of deaths. Who is killing these people? Why are they dying? It's that easy. It was literally that easy to fucking own this argument. Just like it's literally that easy to own the argument that he's currently doing.
And that was a justification used for mandating everyone get the vaccine.
Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on whether you love freedom, being in Texas makes it kind of hard to find people with masks on.
Depends who's asking. Oh, okay, thanks.
Oh, what a pussy. Depends on who's asking. He saw a big burly man roll up with fucking hair on his chest, and he's like, depends on who's asking. I'm not Steven Crowder. I'm actually Hassan Piker. Twitch.tv/HasanAbi.
We're just asking people about vaccinations and masks, but no one's wearing masks anymore, so that's...
Don't worry, bro. It's not Sam Cedar, okay? He's just some guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking
so
own. He's a COVID's over.
I decided to expand my line of questioning and get people's general thoughts on masks and the vaccine mandate.
Okay, I love this.
Announcing that the Department of Labor...
I love this. I love this. He got so fucking thoroughly owned that he had to put a segue in there, dude. He got so thoroughly owned by that lady that he was like there was a refractory period where he had to recover from getting flexed on, dude. That was awesome. Fuck, I gotta pee. Hold on, I'll be back in a second.
It's developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated.
What was your name again? Sorry?
Nelly.
Nelly. All right, Nelly. Steven, nice to meet you. I appreciate you taking the time. So,
No worries.
Nelly, are you vaccinated?
I am.
Okay. And what made you get vaccinated?
Okay, so my sister had to get vaccinated for her job, so I went ahead and got vaccinated with her.
Okay.
I live with her.
That doesn't sound like too. You're just like, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
So no worries.
No worries.
Do you feel like you have do you feel protected now that you've been vaccinated?
Honestly, I feel no different than before.
Okay. Did you do both doses?
I did.
All right. So my question kind of going, because I noticed you're not wearing a mask. A lot of people who were vaccinated were wearing masks in Dallas, like we were downtown before.
Yeah, no, because I'm just walking to the train. When I get on the train, I wear a mask.
Okay. Now, why would you wear a mask on the train if you're vaccinated?
Because it's still mandatory.
Oh, it's still mandatory. Okay.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't if you didn't have to. Let me ask you.
I don't know, because when I go in grocery stores, I still wear it just to wear it.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't. But you just say you feel protected.
I didn't say that.
Well, you said you don't feel any different. So I guess. So you're still concerned if you don't wear a mask. You feel safer wearing a mask?
I don't know. When I'm with like a large amount of people, yeah.
Okay.
So if it's like more than like if it's like a really large group, then yeah.
You still think you could catch it?
It's like, why do you feel protected, dumbass? Why are you wearing a mask? I'm a conservative, by the way. You can do everything. You should be able to wear a gun on your face and shoot people with that gun. But if you wear a mask, then I'm going to ask you, why are you doing that? Huh? Why are you doing that, huh? Thank you for continuing to spread accurate lab data on antibody vaccine rates. I'm an MPH, an epidemiology student who works in a CLIA certified lab working with COVID-19 diagnostic and antibody testing. You're wrong, brother. I'm actually working for the CIA and spreading COVID misinformation by telling people to be protected against COVID because masks are the real killers. My uncle's mom died a few days ago from COVID because his son didn't let him get vaccinated. Jesus Christ, that's so fucking shitty, dude.
Because like even though you're can't you can still catch it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't told that when we initially got the vaccine, right? You were told you couldn't catch it. Remember that? And then they kind of said, well, you can, but. So let me ask you this: since you're vaccinated, but how do you feel about vaccine mandates that force people to get vaccinated?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of, I don't know. I'm like either or on that. I think kind of because a lot of people are like losing their jobs because of it. So I think that's kind of messed up.
So, well, then that's not really an either or. That's a big issue. That's freedom. Do you think they should have the freedom to choose?
Yeah, I feel like they should, especially if their job comes into question because of it. Because I know, like, my sister's job, like, she had to. And I know one lady is really, she still hasn't gotten it because she does, like.
When were we told that there was a 100% effective vaccine? Never. The only people that have ever said that there's a 100% effective vaccine was conservatives. They are the ones who acted like the vaccine was supposedly 100% exclusively so they could say that it's not. It was literally never. There was never. The only thing that changed that we figured out was breakthrough cases where the original fucking COVID, before the Delta variant, getting the vaccine actually helped you not contract COVID. But the Delta variant changed that very quickly because the vaccine, not the vaccine, sorry, the disease mutated. The only thing that changed was whether or not we could get COVID while vaccinated. No vaccine is 100% effective. And also, it's not even 100% effective. But it's still, even at the very beginning, the highest number it was is like 95% effective, never 100%. Yes, but it wasn't 100% or 95% effective of not getting COVID. It was 95% effective at not dying from COVID or not being hospitalized with COVID. And that still remains. Okay. A 100% effective vax is called a cure, LaMail.
She's scared.
Sure.
But she's also scared to lose her job. So I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Okay, so
and
not either or.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're thinking out loud.
Yeah,
because I see people either have the freedom or they don't. And I think it makes sense. You got vaccinated. But you're not comfortable forcing someone else to get vaccinated.
No.
Okay,
no.
That makes sense. What about, what do you think about like mask mandates for kids in school? Like, making all kids, forcing them all to wear masks in school right now.
Damn, I never really thought about that.
Well, because these are the questions right now. A lot of half the country saying.
You know what's funny? Like, she's just honest. She's like, I don't know. I don't fucking care. I don't know. That should be Steven Crowder's attitude too. But he's like, no, I do care. They should not wear masks. I do not. I want to see their little kid faces. Okay? I want to stare at their little kid faces. All right? I'm Steven Crowder, and I want to see children and their faces. I don't want them to wear masks. Masks suck. Okay? Masks at schools suck. I don't know what the solution is there. If he just stayed, without like talking about the vaccine mandates, but if he just stayed at the fucking mask argument, I think he could make a much better video, because masks annoy like 90% of people. I'm making that number up in my head, obviously, but like masks do annoy people. It just sucks. It sucks to just wear it. It's like uncomfortable, right? And they're also not like a super effective solution in stopping the spread of COVID unless it's also accompanied by significant restrictions of movement, or not being able to get slammed into a fucking restaurant like it's normal times, without like it's pre-COVID times. Like that's the only time when masks are effective, is when it's accompanied by fucking social distancing. Masks aren't as effective when you literally take it off immediately when you sit down at the fucking restaurant. Now, obviously, taking it off and like running around and never wearing it is not the solution here. The solution is vaccine mandates, making sure as many people as humanly possible is vaccinated, so that, you know, it's no longer a pandemic. It's now an epidemic in certain areas, okay? And you can deal with the problem as outbreaks occur. But in America, that will never happen, because Texas exists, because Florida exists, because red state exists, and there's freedom of travel. So people that fucking get it will fly around and give it to others.
We need vaccine mandates. We need mask mandates in schools. I think half the country saying.
By the way, this is the real reaction, though. Is like, who cares? That's my reaction too. And I've said this a couple times already. It's like, masks are annoying, sure, right? Masks are annoying. We agree. Most of us, at least. But the issue here is, like, you're either told to wear a mask right now in like a liberal area. You're told to wear a mask literally until you sit down at a restaurant, if you ever go outside. Okay, you're not wearing a mask outside. Most people don't do that. The only time you have to wear a mask is like for 3.5 minutes. Okay, you wear it when you're in an Uber. You wear it when you're fucking getting seated at a restaurant, and then you immediately take it off. So it's like a little dance that you fucking play. Okay, it's like security theater that you have to engage in, and it's annoying. But like, who cares? Or you live in a place like Texas where it's not a big deal at all, and people act like, or you live in fucking Missouri where it's not a real thing. It's just not a thing that exists. COVID was never real. So it doesn't even matter. And the only people that like fucking want to make the biggest deal out of the situation are people like Steven Crowder, who's like, why aren't you upset about this? You should be upset about this. We should be more upset about this, right? Come on. Can we be more upset about this? What's up with this mask wearing shit? And it's like, it's tyranny, right? It's like, no, not really.
Well, you can't force me to get a vaccine, and it doesn't really make sense to put masks on children in schools because they're not as at risk as adults.
I don't know. I feel like it should be either or. Like, they can wear a mask if they want to. You don't have to. Because I know my cousin, her kids aren't in school right now because they're mandating masks, so her kids aren't in school.
Oh, so because of that, they're not going?
Yep.
Is it because?
Wow, good. That's always good. Taking your kids out of school is really good, I think. That's absolutely healthier than just wearing a fucking mask. Parents be like, my children wearing a mask is going to significantly impair their cognitive functioning, and they're not actually going to be able to see the teacher's face, which is really bad for social development. Also, I'm going to hold them back a year. I wonder which is worse for your fucking kid, dude. Like, what's worse for your child? Not going to school altogether for an entire fucking year, or wearing a mask at school and not being able to see your teacher's face?
Because the kids don't like them?
Homeschooling's a thing, though? Yeah, it's a horrible thing. I'm sorry, chat. I know this is Twitch, so there's a lot of fucking homeschool dandies in my chat, but homeschooling is disastrous. What the fuck are you talking about? It is such a ridiculous thing. Homeschooling is like yet another insane American thing that I'm like in absolute disbelief every time I remember that it exists. I'm like, how is that a thing? How is that like a thing? How is that a thing that's allowed, dude? So weird. So fucking weird, dude.
The mask, or the mom doesn't want them wearing a mask?
The mom.
Yeah. But that, I mean, yeah, that's her right to make that decision, right? Those are her kids.
And also, let me just say one last thing about homeschooling, okay? If you're subjecting your child to homeschooling because of vaccine mandates, you should not be homeschooling your child. It's the last person who should be educating anyone, okay? Just think about that mentality of like someone who's like, oh no, I'm going to homeschool my child now. Why? Oh, because they want him to get vaccinated. You are not teaching anything to anyone, okay? That's crazy.
Yeah, so I feel like I honestly don't know. I don't have kids.
No, I understand, but I think you're being fair with these questions.
Because I feel like if I had kids, I have a totally different mindset.
Now, is this your cousin, you said?
Yeah, it's my cousin.
Okay, so is your cousin African American as well?
Yeah, well, she's mixed, yeah.
Mixed, okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, and this is something that, look, you can educate me here, African Americans in general are a little more mistrustful of government forcing them to do something because of the history?
Her face.
Yes.
Okay.
It's so funny. It's like, I wonder why black people are less trusting of the government. What could it be? I cannot seem to put my finger on it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that, statistically a lot of black people say, well, I'm not going to be forced to be vaccinated.
Yeah, because I know.
By the way, he will never in a million years admit as to why black people are mistrustful of the government. You know? Oh, what's up? What's the reason? Is it perhaps, I don't fucking know, maybe because of systemic racism? Oh, that doesn't exist. You're wrong. That doesn't exist, dude. That's just fucking fake. Racism is not a real thing. It's only individual acts of racism that's a real thing, okay? Every other part of racism is actually fake.
I know a lot of people who are black who they so against that.
It makes sense to me, too.
Yeah.
And I am not saying that the vaccine is, a mind control, but I just think that, of course, if black people feel that way, I understand because of historically, and if they don't want to get a vaccine, you shouldn't be able to force them to, especially me as, just a straight white guy. Why do I get to tell them what they get to do?
True.
All right. Okay. Well, that's fair. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. This gives us some good insight. All right. You be safe.
You have a great day.
And don't be worried about the mask on the bus, but people stealing your stuff.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah.
I ride the train every day.
Okay. All right. Okay. Have a good one.
Huh. Interesting. It's always refreshing.
What? What does that mean? I don't even understand. Tries to lay to the black person, then warns her to beware of the thugs. I don't even understand what was happening. You're the one making it weird, dude. I'm the one making it weird. I've literally never in a million years been like, oh, you're wearing a mask on the bus? Beware of people stealing your stuff. That's such a weird, like, what happens on the bus? I don't even care that it's like towards a black person. I just like I literally don't understand what he meant by that. Damn it, dude. Is he doing this again? He's so advanced. His racism levels are so high, dude. Sometimes I don't understand it. Just like I hate not understanding his
To hear not everyone agrees with the mandate.
Just saying, be careful on public transit because you know poor people will ride the train and will rob you. You know because he has never used public transit. That's what he was trying to say. He was like literally like, oh yeah, when you get on a bus, like people will rob you. Poor people get on the bus.
Hi. How are you?
Advanced racism, that must have been racist, right? Okay, first of all, we're joking, okay? I don't even know if it was fucking racist or not, even though Steven Crowder is a racist person. Literally listen to him ever try to impersonate a black person. Holy shit. I love when people come into the chat and they're like, you really think Steven Crowder is racist? Oh, you mean the guy who simulated the George Floyd murder scenario on his live stream to justify the death of George Floyd? That guy? The guy who thinks black people talk like a fucking cartoonish minstrel show? Every time he tries to like recreate a black person talking, like, oh yeah, I can't even do it. This is fucking. That guy did. Stephen Jim Crowder. Stephen Jim Crowder.
Not everyone agrees with the mandate.
Hey guys. Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You guys have minutes to talk?
No, we're good.
Oh, she said sure. Come on, what are you mansplaining for her? You won't let her go?
Oh my God, he's so fucking horny.
Now let's try to talk with someone else wearing a mask to see if they're vaccinated. Nice to meet you, Tina. So, Tina, my name's Steven, by the way.
Hey, Steven. How
So,
you doing?
I'm
For the record, like, oh yeah, do you guys remember when he was afraid of that black street artist dude? That was so funny. Y'all remember when he pulled up on this like street artist who was commissioned by the fucking Chamber of Commerce in that area to like do murals and stuff, and he was just like, I'm calling the cops. You're doing vandalization. Oh God. That was awesome, dude. God. Oh no. Me and my 3 bodyguards are terrified of the black artist doing murals. He's gonna investigate the crime at jazz clubs next. Oh, it's so great.
doing well. Thank you for asking. Let me ask you. I see you're wearing a mask. Are you vaccinated?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're not. Is there a reason why not?
I just don't. I just feel like I just wear my mask. I just feel like.
You wear your mask. Is there a particular reason that maybe you don't trust the vaccine, or you're waiting for long-term studies?
Yeah, I'm waiting on to get more research on it and get more studies on it, because a lot of people that I know that took the test, they got sick behind it. So I'm kind of just weighing my options on to get it.
He's like, nailed it. Finally found someone who agrees with me. I wonder if Steven Crowder will try to make her look dumb, even though, they are in agreement. Probably not.
You mean they got the vaccine and then got sick?
Yeah, they got the vaccine and then they got sick.
Well, that's pretty common now.
Yeah.
And initially with the vaccine, they said you wouldn't get sick.
Yeah, it's so common. You know what's really common? Dying of COVID because you're not vaccinated in comparison to dying of COVID when you are vaccinated. But obviously we're not talking about that here. Why would we ever talk about that? It's top of the hour ad time. So the only thing we'll be talking about is at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. Now, of course, listen, folks, you no longer want to see those ads? If you're like, I don't want to see fucking ads at the top of the hour, dude. I want an ad-free broadcasting experience. Then all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or you can do that for free. That's right. You can subscribe for free or you can sit in here and wait for a gifted. Sometimes it comes. But ultimately, the ad comes regardless at the top of the fucking hour. Twitch Primes are free though, folks. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. Is there a vaccine for the ads? Yes, there is. It's called a subscription. All right, man.
Right.
Now there are these breakthrough cases.
Exactly.
So then, I think I know the answer to this, but we've been asking people how they feel about vaccine.
Bosch TV, thank you for the 5 the subs.
I would imagine you don't want to be forced to get the vaccine.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't want to.
I don't want to force you to get the vaccine.
No, I don't want to be forced. Have you got it?
No, but I've had COVID.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
Matter of fact, my wife and parents just had it, and I was sleeping in bed with my wife, and
exactly.
like, there's no way to get it.
He's talked about like sleeping in the same bed with his wife a lot. And I know that like, obviously it's like relevant to bring up here. Okay. But it does seem like he's hammering that point. Like he's like, you know, I fuck my wife a lot. We're sleeping in the same bed. Our marriage is very good, and we are sleeping in bed a lot, me and my wife, and she's definitely not sleeping in bed with other people, and I'm sleeping in bed with her. Like, dude, you could just say my wife had COVID and I got it from her, and people will understand it's your fucking wife. Why are you trying to make it clear that you got it in the bedroom? Unless you're covering for something, in which case, okay, cool, I guess. I'm definitely straight, and me and my wife, we engage in marital coitus in the straight sexual intercourse that we have in the bed. The one bed that we have, definitely not a 2-bed, 2 different room situation, okay? The one bed that we have, we're having marital coitus. We're doing all the positions too. We're doing missionary, okay? We're doing cowboy style. We're doing doggy style, okay? That's it. I want you to understand, I fuck my wife as a straight man. Okay, let's keep going.
Right, exactly.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, there's a higher percentage of African Americans, of Black Americans, who are vaccine hesitant, is the term that, you know, basic white and straight white men are using in the news.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because of mistrust in the government, based maybe on some historical?
Damn, bro. Why didn't he do the black voice that he does? He said basic white bitches and straight white men in the news. Why didn't he do the fucking like? Why didn't he do Morgan Freeman voice? Remember? Interviewing black people because you know this is his audience. Oh yeah, totally. Black people love Steven Crowder. He literally said, I'm a straight white man to that last lady. Why is he just doing CRT now? Yeah, come on, dude. Do the black farmer voice, dude. Remember? Which is suspiciously similar to Barack Obama voice, which is suspiciously similar to Morgan Freeman voice, which is suspiciously the exact same as every other black character that you have ever portrayed on your show. Why don't you do that? He interviews black people so that he never gets recognized. Black people love Crowder while they do the Hennessy farm. Yeah, exactly. They're like, man, he was popping off really funny when he said black people farm Hennessy trees. Yeah. Man, black people don't even like me. You think they're going to fucking sit around and watch Steven Crowder? Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? That's crazy.
Factors with black Americans that they're saying like, oh, I'm a little skeptical when you want to put something in my body.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, all of a sudden, COVID just came out of nowhere. So you got to think about it. You know, a lot of people has...
Not every black person in my chat currently. Obviously, you do. I'm saying overall, if you go to like Black Twitter or some shit, there's a lot more very vocal black people that are like, this person is racist. He's like a white supremacist racist. Which, it sucks. Yeah, but what are you going to do?
Got sick behind it, but
right.
as an African American, they're kind of scared to actually get a test to get it done to see if that's really going to clear the whole virus thing.
Yeah. So what do you think about Joe Biden putting these mandates into effect? You know, forcing people to get the vaccine.
I think you shouldn't really force nobody to do anything. Right. You know what I'm saying? They should.
Max, you are right about that. You aren't valid in the hood, white boy. Okay. True. Anyway, let's see. I get back to. I forgot what she was saying when I was reminded that Black Twitter doesn't fuck with me, and it made me sad.
Get a test to get it done to see if that's really going to clear the whole virus thing.
Yeah. So what do you think about Joe Biden putting these mandates into effect? You know, forcing people to get the vaccine.
I think you shouldn't really force nobody to do anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They should have their own will and own say what they really want to do, if they wanted to get it or not. You shouldn't say, well, hey, I demand you to do that. No, you shouldn't do that.
Okay.
People should be able to be free and do whatever they want to do.
Totally understand. All right, it's starting to rain, so I won't keep you longer, but thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time.
I'm noticing
He got bored. He got bored of that one. He's like, yeah,
trend
whatever. You agree with me.
that I can't quite. Well, I guess I'll go back to it. Finally, I spoke with this nice family.
Hey guys, how you doing? All right, yourself? Doing fine. Hey, do you guys have
Hey, can you tell me why you guys are, why do you have umbrellas on your head? Obviously, you're still gonna get wet, regardless of whether you have an umbrella or not. Do you know that like you still 99% of your body is still gonna get wet under the rain? Why is it that Why is it that you're using an umbrella? It's kind of stupid. Why are you?
5 minutes to talk? We're doing like an informal survey on people on kind of reopening the economy, actually asking about kids in school with the mask mandates and what parents think. Yeah. All right. Do you mind here? We'll take you out of the rain here. Then we kind of found a little bit of an overhang. So, what's your name, sir?
Kwame.
Kwame?
Yeah.
Kwame. And then what are your names?
I'm Zai.
Zai?
And Yara.
Yara. Okay. Now, Kwame, are you vaccinated?
Yes.
Yourself? Okay. What made you get vaccinated?
To be able to do things, you know, and protect other people from the COVID vaccine, or the COVID,
COVID,
yeah. From
You're not
COVID.
running up swatting vaccines out of
Yeah, no, to be able to protect, number one, my family, protect others, and be able to go out in the public and make sure that I wasn't causing more problems.
Wait, something is different here.
Are you Canadian?
Yes.
Bingo.
I just heard it. Go out.
Yeah.
How long have you been here? Are you visiting?
No, I've been in the U.S. 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting to me because I don't know if you've probably heard that some people are vaccine hesitant, and it's higher in the Black American community.
Mm-hmm.
And we've interviewed some people today, and they said, well,
Black
I'm a little
American
leery of the government. They're the first one who just...
Black American community is such a funny way to say it. It's like... Sorry.
said, yep, I took it, Canadian. Do you think there's a little bit more with Canadians willing to go along with what the government wants them to do, the mandates, or?
Well, I think it's more so around their healthcare. You know, in terms of in Canada, there has a strong trust in healthcare.
Right.
Because the government runs the healthcare.
Right.
And so in Canada right now, the vaccination rate is at 85%.
Yeah.
Because of that trust. And
Bro, why is this video like pro fucking vaccine mandates, and every single person that he found is like kind of spitting?
I think in the U.S., a lot of people don't have trust in the healthcare because a lot of people don't even have it.
Right.
You know, so I think that
actually there's some black people that prefer Black American. It's just black. Okay. Like I don't know. I don't know why we like it's just you're black. Okay. Like African American, Black American, people of color, you're black. It's just most of that stuff revolves around people trying to be like either overcorrective or trying to be fucking dehumanizing. Or the overcorrection itself still stems from a level of like otherizing and dehumanization. Anyway, let's keep going.
that's a big factor in why people haven't taken
Do you
it.
think it's a good, because in Canada they've taken extreme measures. I mean, curfews, arresting people who even just walk their dog outside of their house, eliminating people from platforms. Do you think, because Canada's been pretty extreme, next step Australia, do you think that in that case there's a risk reward of 85% vaccination, but losing some individual rights there? I'm Canadian, by the way, I should say, Montreal.
Oh, great.
What are the individual rights you lost, bro? The fucking individual freedom to not die of COVID. Like that's, dude, why do conservatives love making shit up about Canada? Like they're literally like, oh, it's crazy when it's crazy that in Canada they're like throwing you in jail for misgendering someone. Oh, really? That's crazy that's happening, I guess. That's never happened. Oh, in Canada, people lost all their individual liberties actually because of COVID vaccine mandates and stuff like that. It's like, it's got that same energy as like, remember when the Kay Kona guy was like fucking telling me how Germany is on fire because they have, free college education?
Great, I'm from Vancouver.
Oh, okay. Never been there. So when people say you're Canadian, they go, do you know? I go, it's a huge, huge country.
Right. No, I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, when you look at death rates in comparison to the U.S. and Canada, you see that, yes, you may lose some personal rights, but you have a greater chance of living because more people are vaccinated. There's less death.
I wouldn't even take that like you're losing some personal rights bullshit. Like, don't even, if you're ever like having a conversation with a human being about shit like this, chatters, don't ever accept the inappropriate framing that your opposition is engaging you with. Like when they say like you're losing your individual liberties, it's like, no, that's a normal function of living in a society. Okay, there's rules and regulations, and you analyze whether those rules make sense or not. And in this situation, the burden of like, in this situation, like some kind of restriction on your movement or whatever, ultimately, or having to be vaccinated is totally worthwhile. Your personal rights are not being fucking abused or anything like that. And it's especially worthwhile when you consider the alternative, which is like people dying.
So yeah, I think it's the risk is worth that reward.
Okay. Let me ask you this: do you? Well, I don't want to ask your kids right now because I don't want to put them on camera. I'll just ask you. But do your kids go to public schools or to private schools?
Neither.
Oh, neither. Are homeschooled?
Yes.
Oh, great. Well, you can't do that in Canada either. That's it. So, isn't that a good thing? You have that liberty here in the United States.
Well, you can do that in Canada.
Uh-oh.
It's very, very difficult.
Yeah. You just have to follow the regulations.
Yeah. It's almost impossible. The actual amount of approvals, specifically in Quebec, was way worse. But that's good. Good for you. I just had twins. They're just like 12 weeks old. And we're considering that right now for sure. So I was going to ask you then, it doesn't really affect you so much, but what do you think about like the mask mandates in classrooms right now?
Well, I think it's definitely a great health protocol.
Okay.
In the sense that, kids were already being vaccinated.
This is the one guy who I don't hate the if he homeschooled his children. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He delivered the twins. Yeah, that's why he was in the hospital.
To go to classes.
Right.
So, to me, until they have a vaccine for children, that is the best way to keep them healthy.
Okay. So you would support the mandates for the masks in schools?
Definitely.
On that kind of same line of thinking, should we have mask mandates for children every flu season? Do you think? Because some people are saying that's something we should be looking at too.
I don't think so.
Who's saying that? Who said that? Where are they saying that? Who are these people?
Because the death rates are not as high, in terms of the science isn't telling us that yet. So I wouldn't think so.
So my question is kind of, we have a sliding scale, right? This is interviewing a lot of people. What if, let's say, the standard flu, like what if the CDC had numbers that said the standard seasonal flu, the mortality rate is 10 times higher in children than COVID? Would we say, okay, maybe no mask mandate or mask mandate for the flu as well?
I think if the science tells us to go there, we need to go there.
Okay, because it does.
He's going to say that it does, that the seasonal flu kills more kids than COVID.
It does, yeah. It's 0.08 mortality rate for kids with COVID, but a lot of people don't realize the standard flu is very dangerous for kids, kids more so. Not as dangerous for adults, more dangerous for children.
Right.
And
a flu shot is different than COVID by far. COVID is way more dangerous. The main problem with COVID is that we don't know what will happen with long COVID. We don't know what will happen with we don't know what will happen to kids. We don't know how much and we know that COVID is way more deadly amongst adults, which kids can spread to adults. Is Crowder making an argument for more mask mandates? Yeah, it seems like he's making an argument for mask mandates, but he's actually just simply saying that like kids don't wear fucking masks during the flu season. I mean, technically, this data itself, we will not be able to properly compare because we don't have mask mandates and we've never actually fucking taken kids out of school during flu season, but we have done that during COVID. So if anything, you could literally look at this data and go, oh, wow, that's crazy. It kind of seems like mask mandates and also not having kids in school during fucking this deadly pandemic has been really effective in eliminating child deaths from the equation. But if you're a fucking piece of shit, you can look at the data and be like, well, kids when they go to school normally without masks are dying at 10 times the higher rate from the regular seasonal flu. So what we should do is make it so that there's no restrictions on even COVID, which we know is way deadlier than the seasonal flu. If you're a fucking idiot and you look at the data like this, you're either doing it dishonestly, okay, and you're deliberately doing it so you can fucking, like, you know, misguide people and make sure that they just, like, continue going down that fucking dumbass cycle of misinformation. Or you're just an idiot and you don't even recognize what you're looking at.
It's 0.85%, almost 1%.
Yeah.
Do you think we need to mask up in normal flu seasons?
Well, the thing is, we have such a small data set for COVID. You know,
oh, dude, he's fucking owning. Oh my God, he said it. Oh, never mind.
He's only been with us within a year. We have 20, 30 years of flu data that would tell us that, you know. Right. So I think we just need to study the data.
Okay, this guy is definitely good at homeschooling his children. Never mind. He's smarter than the fucking average average American. Probably because he's Canadian. He's just automatically smarter.
To figure it out.
What do you hope to see, I guess, for the country right now, reopening? What would be your...
Wait, what? Dude, has Crowder won a single one of these arguments? The only time he, like, functionally won an argument was, like, when the person was already agreeing with him. That's why I said, like, Canada either brings the best people or the worst people. You got the best person and you got the worst person that Canada has to offer. No mid people from Canada. No mids.
Utopia here in the United States. Like, if you could wave your hand, are people walking around with masks, vaccinated? Are we reopening the economy, doing it slowly?
Well, I think it's, number one, continued vaccination, you know, getting a higher rate of vaccination. I think, and then there's going to be, you know, periods where potentially you do have to bring masks back, as we saw with the Delta variant.
Right.
But I think it's going to be touch as you go, you know, in terms of we're not going to have one prescription for one region that works across the nation. It's going to be really localized based on your health authorities telling you, you know, here's what the risk is. Let's make changes based on what's happening in our area.
I definitely agree with that. You can't do a one-size-fits-all with a country this big and this populated. So you need to take, you know, every arrow you have kind of in your quiver to keep everyone safe. But hey, you're on the right track. You got the little ones homeschooled, and good for you. They're adorable too. Yet again, we see
Wait. So he went around and, like, every single person destroyed him. Why did they upload this video? Oh, this is going to be great. I'm definitely posting this on my fucking YouTube. Also, doesn't this guy kind of look like Rich? OTK Rich, dude? Even agree with the last guy's point of bringing back masks? I don't understand, because I think at this point, like, his fan base doesn't even respond to, like, what the people are saying. They have, like, lizard brain status, right? So they have they only react when they think that an argument is happening. So if Steven Crowder looks like he's in agreement, then he's like, wow, what a wonderful conversation that they had. Like, there's no analysis there of, like, what is being said. Pains me